Now for a very interesting one-on-one session. Topic is OTT and future, a bird's eye view. In conversation with Siddhartha Laik, founder and editor-in-chief, IWMBuzz.com, joined by the very dynamic Nikhil Gandhi, COO, MX Media. Over to you, Siddhartha.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, Sonu, for the wonderful introduction. And it's an absolute honor to have Nikhil sir with us. Nikhil sir, how are you?
Very well. Thank you for having me and many congratulations on India Web Fest. I believe this is your third season.
Absolutely, sir.
Congrats to you and the team.
Thank you so much, sir. And Nikhil sir, I know you are running a busy schedule, so I won't take too much of your time in terms of the overall thought. But sir, you're a veteran. You have seen the linear side of the media entertainment business. You have seen the emerging OTT short form business. So मैं आपसे एक direct सवाल पूछूंगा जो हम सारे leaders से पूछ रहे हैं with the new year coming in. How do you see the overall digital entertainment ecosystem evolving in the coming year, especially in the post-COVID scenario, sir?
Yeah, I mean, this is a question that, most of the media folks ask us. I think there are a couple of data points which I can share, which really, give us dimension in terms of how this business is shaping up. I think COVID has been a defining year for the digital industry per se. I think that there's been a tectonic shift in consumer behavior on the adoption of digital, and not just in terms of OTT, but purely in terms of non-digital users adopting the digital framework as well as the consumption of internet overall. So as we speak today, we've got, I think you know this better than me, 800 million plus internet users. Now, interestingly, the data point that I'm going to share with you is that 500 million of those are online video users. I think that is a staggering number when it comes to traditional television. And the average time spent per user a week is more than 12 hours on just.
Wow.
So I think the market is dynamically shifting towards people adopting the small screen and the single screen and the personalized screen for online digital video. The size of the industry itself is about 30,000 crores, the digital industry. And just to draw parallels to some of the other traditional media industries, and I'm talking only revenue figures for this at this point.
Yes.
The print business is about 24,000 crores. The digital business is 30,000 crores. I think it's quite telling in the way the digital business is growing when it comes to AVOD and SVOD. As compared to some of the traditional media, and I'm not even talking of radio, which is not even in the framework of high decibel growth. And even if you look at the film business, it's a $2 billion industry. So currently, digital business is sitting at a sizable 30,000 crores. The OTT business out of that is about $1.5 billion, which is almost 15,000 crores, which is half the size of the overall digital business. And in the years to come, we are looking at the OTT business itself to be at about $4 billion. Notwithstanding that the overall smartphone universe itself is going to move from 450 million to, I think, about 800 million plus. And I truly believe that digital video is going to become mainstream as the first choice of content consumption as compared to traditional television.
Wow. So the numbers are very encouraging, sir. So we are also born internet. So it helps us understand the overall ecosystem from a larger player where you are headed. But so when you're in a competitive space, there's so much of opportunity. There's also clutter, chaos. So at MX Media, what innovations you are looking at to deploy or employ to ensure that you are right at the ahead when it comes to the market share, be it users, consumers, or rev share in the overall pie chart? So MX में sir आप क्या innovations आप ला रहे हैं?
Well, it's a great question. I think the way our DNA is designed is that we're a tech-first company, and so our investment in technology is always going to be our priority one. And if you see the kind of technology that we've adopted Probably we are the only ones globally to have introduced the video compression technology that enables higher consumption at lower data costs. You can actually save about 70 odd percent of data consumption cost while consuming content on MX Player, thanks to the video compression technology that we have at the same and the higher quality that you would get otherwise. So I think that is just a small petal of the larger investment in tech that we have on one side. Two is our AI enabled software and AI enabled machine learning processes enable users to discover more and more content, more wider, more deeper in multiple different languages and formats. And that really keeps us ahead of the overall competition ecosystem. And I think our investments in content are only growing by multifold year on year. And we've been only able to up our game. I mean, the largest consumed web show in the Indian universe is on MX Player, a show called Ashram. In terms of pure million minutes, it's the highest show in terms of watch time. And I think these numbers are only encouraging and they're only going to get better as we speak.
So it's the plan is pretty set out, and with Nikhil sir at the helm, I'm sure results will also come in. But so MX primarily is has an Indian sentiment. It's an Indian-born application. So, and you have also worked with larger networks in the past. You have experience of working with global players. So, what is the real lacuna or the challenge, sir, if you feel that an Indian company can equate or become a larger player, let's say like a TikTok or a Facebook or a Netflix? What do you feel is the core challenge that you face as an industry leader while leading a company like MX or any other Indian company, sir? Is it the spends on the tech? Is it the spends on the content, or it's the overall philosophy to not to compete at the global level? आपको challenge क्या face होता है, sir?
Well, I can speak for MX to begin with. I think we were very clear right from the beginning that we want to be a global player. And if you see some of the recent headlines, we are the only Indian app to have crossed 1 billion downloads on App Store. I think we are in the August company of 16 other global tech giants who have been able to achieve this feat. So slowly and steadily, we are the ones who are getting towards becoming a dynamic global app originating out of India. And I think that is something that we were very clear right from the beginning that we want to achieve scale at a global level and not at an India level. Yes, India is a priority market because we are born here, but we certainly don't see ourselves to be limiting ourselves to the Indian continent. That is one. Two is, I think what is plaguing the industry is, like you rightly mentioned, investment in tech. But investment in tech comes at the ability of having a larger vision and a longer vision. I think the Indian ecosystem is plagued with early returns. And I think that's where the penny drops for how we want to design our framework for global growth. That is one. And I think we've been able to take those risks from a standpoint of investing in areas where we believe are going to be giving us returns from a longer term perspective. And we are seeing the fruits of that as we speak. Two is the ability of taking the risks in the areas of development. I think very early on, we were just a local player. We added a layer of OTT. We added a layer of music. We added a service of short video. Now we have a layer of games. And I think we've now willy-nilly become a super app of Indian entertainment and also going global at the same time. So if you're talking of diversifying into areas of current businesses, we are probably the ones who've taken the leapfrog jump into multidimensional areas that nobody else has ever done. And I think traditionally, outside of the global tech companies who are in India, the other players, the other OTT players, have predominantly run their businesses like an extension of their broadcast businesses. And I think that's
absolutely
the larger challenge comes into play, where you see you don't see a lot of innovation on tech The talent that is currently running those businesses are also traditional television folk. And I think that's the area that I also feel that the industry is plagued with lack of talent availability. And I think that's where we really need to focus, catch the early winners at the engineering and the IIT levels and bring them on to create global apps. But I certainly believe at the same time that India has demonstrated world-class ability across different sectors in the consumer tech universe. I think there are zillions of examples, and I certainly think that we are at the cusp of a global innovation.
Superb, sir. So, Nikhil sir, you are essentially a business-minded individual. You drive revenues, P&L. So there always this conversation on the OTT model. In the past sessions, also people have spoken about AVOD, SVOD, social commerce, etc., etc. So now that you have this vision of MX being a super app, what stream of revenue you feel will eventually be a larger chunk in the overall pie chart in Indian sentiment? Are people willing to subscribe, or is going to be driven by numbers and revenue, or social commerce like a prime angle will come in? As the industry expert, आपको क्या लगता है सर, eventually OTT का revenue model कैसे consolidate होगा सर?
Well, I can only take a leaf out of the success that the largest OTT player in the world has done, and that is YouTube. And I think their primary device of revenue earning opportunity has been AVOD.
Yes.
That's where they have demonstrated that whether it is in India or whether it is globally, great content is driven by consumer engagement, funneled with ad opportunities to drive the right kind of revenue as a stream. I think that's where it comes, and the penny drops for us as well, as we are the only AVOD service at scale playing in India outside of the YouTube universe, standing tall as the second largest. And I don't know if you've got the App Annie number latest report. We are the second largest. We are in the top 10 when it comes to time spent, average time spent per user at a worldwide
engagement.
Right? So it's not just India, but it's global. And the same stands for India. I mean, we are standing as number 2 when it comes to time spent per user on the Indian ecosystem OTT space. So from that perspective, when we have scale and that kind of reach, we want to create opportunities for brands and advertisers to enable sharp targeting and to enable a very immersive led targeting for their kind of advertising that they want to deliver. So that is one. 2 is there will obviously be at scale opportunities for you to create direct to consumer revenue opportunities. And I think SVOD is a prime example of that. Today, the industry is sitting at a 5,500 crore top line out of all subscriptions on OTT alone. And I think what is driving that is the adoption of OTT as a mainstream area of content consumption. And people are willing to pay. Right now, it is at the top of the pyramid. But I think over time, this is going to drive a substantial chunk as far as the revenue industry is concerned. So there are 2 aspects of how do we drive revenues. One is, of course, AVOD, which is the advertising business. But I would also layer it with a prime and premium consumption that will happen at the top end of the funnel through subscription revenues. You also spoke of social commerce. I think social commerce is very underrated. It is at a very nascent stage, but it has reached a certain inflection point. There are a few apps that have demonstrated that kind of success. We are probably one of the areas that we are currently looking at. We have not really created a framework for coming into that space, but we certainly believe that apps and content that is driving mass engagement is something that we will be certainly interested in. And so we've designed our framework for revenue opportunity according to that.
So, sir, revenue is important, tech is important, but eventually people do consume a lot of content on MX also. Like you mentioned that one of the most watched shows is on MX. So while commissioning shows, what's the philosophy at MX overall? Like, there are some players who ride on Bollywood power when it comes to commissioning content. There are some players who are looking at more innovative content. What is MX looking at, say, in the year to come? If someone was to approach MX, to do some good content pieces. So what are the kind of content pitches you're looking at from creators to come to you?
So I think most of our decisions, whether it comes to content or market approach or even user growth for that matter, is extremely data driven. We analyze approximately 2.3 trillion bytes of data on a monthly basis, and that gives us a very clear and a sharp dimension into what exactly is getting lapped up and what is getting consumed, and what are the real tastes and preferences of consumers who tend to spend longer time on certain genres and types of content. And that drives us to approaching the content ecosystem on two aspects. One is, how do we satiate the current growing demand of people who want to watch a particular kind of content? Two is, how do we toy with different new formats and genres, which will probably come into the discovery bucket of those users. Like you do today on any OTT platform, you go in to watch a particular show, and in the process discover a show that you would not want to see otherwise, and then you get hooked onto it. So I think the process of discovery is twofold. One is the supply of content from different genres, and two is the AI and the ML technology that enables you to discover that content. So our content decisions are based on these two large buckets. So that, I think you're on mute. I can't hear you.
I'm so sorry, sir. Hope you can hear me now.
Yeah, I can.
These are little digital challenges. Wish I could have been face to face with you in some hotel so that we would have had a better conversation. But sir, a lot of your content philosophy comes from data, like you said. So now, if I can talk a little bit about MX Takatak, what do you think is the power of short form content and digital entertainment now? Like, it's all over the place. So many players are there. After TikTok is gone, so many are trying to be the ruling, the player in the market. How do you see short form as a genre kind of growing in India, user base wise, and also as a marketing platform wise, for brands to reach out to larger fan engagement needs?
So, this phenomenon of so many players are there is currently over. When TikTok got banned, everybody came into the bandwagon thinking this is a very easy business to run, and people started toying with all sorts of things. I think the writing is on the wall. The App Annie reports give you a very clear understanding of who the real players are. There are probably just 2 or 3 players who are now standing to play this game from a long-term perspective and from a serious perspective. And I think the top 2 very clearly are at a lead that the third player will be difficult to match. So there is a very clear understanding that there are just 2 or 3 players who are now in this play. There are other players who have pivoted into different areas, NFTs, social commerce, etc. I think what we've been able to demonstrate is very clearly a consumer understanding of content. 2, we have a technology that is far superior to some of the other players. So our recommendation engine really drives our watch time. Our user growth is steady. We are growing from a monthly active user base, 125 million. I think that's a sizable number for us to speak. And I think on the other side, we have mobilized the creator universe. So people who are very sharply working on growing this business from an accurate targeting perspective. 1, 2 is from investing in technology, and 3 is understanding and mobilizing and growing the creator ecosystem, are the ones who are really in the game from the long-term perspective. And I think the numbers are quite sizable when it comes to some of the global tech companies who are here. So the idea of actually driving the short video business to success is something that we are very clearly poised with. And you will see that in the next 6 months, the entire market structure will change as far as short video is concerned.
So, is MX Takatak and MX also looking at using other revenue opportunities for creators like NFTs, etc., or you feel it's too nascent a stage in India? There's too much of buzz, but not too meat in the overall conversion ratio?
So the revenue opportunity for us already began about 6 months ago. We already have a steady advertising revenue pipe, which now clients have started toying with uh, through the through the passive advertising engagements through our ad tech that we do for them. Secondly, we also have influencer based sharp targeting as well as challenges that we create to create more buzz. So I think beautifully what the MX ecosystem is able to deliver is one, scale and reach like none other. And I'm talking of not just MX Takadak, but also MX Player. Two is active engagement rather than passive engagement. So any client or any brand who wants reach on one side also wants consumer and user engagement on the other side is very happy with the kind of solutions that we provide. And third is influence. I think the hashtag challenges and the kind of talent that we work with. I'm talking of professional creators on the MX side and also influencers on the Takadak side, makes us a very potent combination of reach, engagement, and influence. And that I think becomes the mainframe attraction for all brands who are currently in the space.
That's wonderful. And I wanted to ask you a question on your new launch on MX Studios. I believe you also roped in a senior actor and creative entertainer like Suresh sir in MX Studios. So what are your plans for MX Studios? It's going to drive your branded content model, or how is it? What are the plans with MX Studios?
So with MX Studios, what we are doing is a content first and a narrative and a storytelling approach first. We want to drive user engagement on one side and also then get brands to buy into that kind of content that is created for those users. So we've been able to demonstrate the content creation ability very clearly with our top web shows. Now we want to toy with different formats and different storytelling narratives that will attract brands to reach their audiences through our content creation engine as well as our reach engine, which is the player. And so we've roped in Suresh Menon, who comes in with deep insight and a great amount of experience in the content creation space. And you will hear about some of the new show launches under MX Studio very, very soon.
Super. So, when you talk about creators, influencers, opportunities for them onboarding with MX Takadak, if I am a creator and if someone wants to get used to the MX Takadak platform, what kind of you think genre works great? Is it the religious format, or it's the challenges? Or as a creator, where do you want someone to focus more to become an influencer and also earn revenue, say, from MX Takadak?
Well, the most obvious genre is entertainment. There is always lip sync and dance. If you want some early wins with a large follower base, you can toy with that. But I think the way we've designed our overall content framework on MX Takadak, it is to go beyond the obvious entertainment genres. And so we have now genres that go into lifestyle. We have food as a category, we have magic as a category, we have deep talent as a category, and I think that really creates opportunities for creators from different walks of life and from different genres to toy with the Takadak universe, to give them the opportunity of reaching out to more than 125 million users and create their fan base and their moments here. The interesting part is that we also enable brands to have conversations with our influencers. So the opportunity of not just creating a name on the app, but also revenue through our overall tech is also right up there as far as creators are concerned.
So also you see with the new age ecosystem, live audio chat rooms is also catching up. So it's a share chat room question. So how can brands or content creators, do you think, can leverage live audio chat rooms also for fan engagement? And does MX or Takadak has any such plans to kind of engage heavily on live audio chat rooms?
Well, I think we certainly have live video chat rooms, and because we are a video ecosystem, for us video works extremely well. We've been able to enable technology for having concurrent live sessions across multiple creators who come in and conduct sessions and try and mobilize their own fan base as well as new users who would like to engage with them. And I think we've been able to demonstrate a very high number of concurrent views during the live sessions. I think it goes up to more than 1 million users who come in and log in for our live sessions, depending on the kind of influencer or celebrity or creator that we have. And I think that is where we believe that this is the future of the whole live business on the short video space. And just like ShareChat has demonstrated it in the audio universe, we are toying with that on the video side.
Superb, sir. So, sir, I think we have 2 minutes left, and I want to ask you two final questions. You, as someone so senior in the ecosystem, do you really feel that a decade from now or 5 years from now, it's only going to be digital as a means of content consumption, revenue opportunities, marketing opportunities, and days of TV and print and radio are as good as over?
Well, I think some of the traditional media will see a sharp decline as compared to digital. Digital is only going to grow, and like you said, it will be mainstream. It is already mainstream. Some of the new users who are coming into play, my kids, for example, are cord nevers, right? They don't understand what television is. It's
Yes.
an app and it's for them is digital content.
Or a newspaper, maybe.
Absolutely. So I think the newspaper business and the radio business will have deep challenges unless they pivot into the digital side. I think the television business is going to be there for some time. It'll be a decade or more. They will coexist with digital, and it really depends on I read about Jio launching a 1 rupee data pack today. I think cost price innovations and data innovations like this are only going to spearhead and grow the digital video ecosystem and the digital ecosystem and adoption of digital far more aggressively than some of the traditional media. So I think the writing is on the wall again as far as these businesses are concerned, and we've seen what COVID has done in terms of consumer adoption.
I think the insights coming from you is, of course, pretty valuable for people watching us, listening to us. A final question before we say goodbye to each other and till we meet in person, sir. Like, can India create a global app like TikTok? Do you think we have the gumption, guts, grit, and the budgetary allocations to go global like TikTok?
Well, India certainly created a global OTT app like MX Player, and I'd see no reason for us not to create another short video app. I think it is in process. The numbers in a 1 year time frame are extremely encouraging, and I think it's a matter of time that you will see multiple amounts of digital apps now going global in the next 3 or 4 years.
I think thank you so much, Gandhi sir. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and it's always a learning opportunity from you. And thanks a lot for your time at India Webfest Season 3. Season 4, we will meet hopefully on ground, and keep supporting us and keep doing the great job at MX Media, sir.
Thank you very much, Siddharth.
Have a great evening ahead, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Siddhartha and Nikhil sir, for that absolutely wonderful and insightful session.